Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. This is the Wild Acorns Art Studio channel, and you can see it's a nice lovely day we have out here today. I got my patio, cleaned my patio off a little bit, and I've been planting flowers, and so when I got my she shed, which I'm turning into a little not really an art studio, but like a little pottery store, or with my art. I'm gonna put my art in it and my pottery in it, and I'm having a sale at my house May 3rd, 10 to 3. If you want to stop by, if you're in the area, I'm gonna have a lot of big markdowns because I need to move inventory. I'm not doing that many shows anymore, so anyway. But today we're painting pottery. I'll lower you down. I got my glazes here. Let me, so you can see what I'm doing. I was gonna paint outside today, but I got two neighbors cutting the grass. So I've got my underglazes here. These are my Amaco velvet underglazes, and I've got them in an old bead box. And the colors have been kind of custom mixed, so don't really pay attention to names of the colors. You know, pick the colors you like. Don't get hung up on names of, certain colors, because I'm going to paint a little bit different style today. Well, same style, but I'm going to splatter some paint on there. But this is I think this is called bright orange, but I want it a little more Tuscany. So I'm going to add a touch of this lime green. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit there. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this orange. I'm going to have some orange flowers, some blue flowers, and some violet flowers. And it's just going to be kind of random, which I don't do a lot on pottery. A lot of times I just, well, it's random, but it's not, mixed with, like, just all over the place, if that makes any sense. I think summer has finally come to the Cincinnati area, because it's been so warm. It's going to be warm all week, which is so nice, because we're usually just so up, because I guess a lot of places, you have in the spring, the weather is up and down, up and down, up and down. But this is a very bright orange, and I don't want that bright orange. So that's why I'm mixing it, and I'm going to try to mix enough where if I run out, I don't have to, I don't want to run out. And this chartreuse, I think, is just this medium green with yellow. I had to mix my own. I could not find, the last time I went to my local clay supplier, they were out of some colors. Let me move you down just a little bit more. Okay, I'll show you my Millie. Millie's sitting over here. Like, I got the fan on. Oh, let's see. There's Millie. She's the one that's usually standing in front of me, putting her butt in my face while I'm trying to glaze. There's my artwork over there. Some of it all stacked up. Charlie, the dog, is sleeping under the table. So hopefully he won't, if my husband comes home, he'll start barking probably, but that's all right. Okay, so I've got my orange. See, it just took the edge off this lime green. When you add green to orange, it makes it a little bit brown, which I don't want brown, but underglazes, it used to be, I don't know why, but it used to be what you saw is what you get, pretty much. But it seems like it's not quite that way anymore. So I try to tone them down, is what I was getting at. The last plate I did, I put a pale yellow in the background. When I fired it, it was a bright yellow, which I really did not like. But, you know, once it's fired, I mean, you could glaze over it, but to me, it's not worth it. But anyway, so then I'm going to mix a little bit of this medium green, more like a Kelly green or forest green. They didn't have the avocado that I usually get, so I had to kind of get what they had. But I don't want it that dark, and I don't want it the color of the chartreuse, so we're just going to mix it up. And you can mix them just like acrylics or watercolor. It's got a lot of blue in it, you can see when you start mixing it. And I might see that's pretty good. I'm trying to debate. I think I'm going to add a touch of this white. Rinse my brush out here a little bit. Add some white to it. Try to lighten it up just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do what I do with acrylics, and I'm going to splatter it just a little bit. And I'll probably splatter it again, but I didn't want to splatter it that much, and I just got it all over my other pot. I guess I'll be painting that the same. I could wash it off, but I probably won't. Okay, so, and I wanted to, well, these are mostly acrylic brushes, but I really like these Grabie, G-R-A-B-I-E watercolor brushes. And they're, like I said, they are for watercolors, but look at these tips on them. They are fabulous. So you can paint with this brush a small line, a thin line, or a thick line. The heavier you press, the thicker it is. And when you use these for, you know, like acrylics, or you didn't see me just lick that brush. But when you, they don't brush the glaze away because they're so soft, which I like. Now, they don't work for a thick glaze or a thick acrylic paint, but the acrylic paints I use are golden and they're thinner. So, let's see here. I'm going to put, I think I'll put one here. Put one here. And I think I'll put one here. And then I'm going to use this blue. And I don't know if I'll use the color blues I got either. Not very happy with the colors I have today. But let's, you know, you get to decide whether you want these in the background or the foreground of the other flowers. So you're going to overlap them, which they kind of should be overlapped a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is start out with the darker blue. I keep these in this bead box, and it keeps them pretty moist. If I know I'm going to be away for a long time, I'll spray them with water a little bit before I close them up. So let's see here. I'm going to add a touch of water, a little bit of water to this blue. I want it a little bit thinner. They say when you're putting on flowers or anything like that, that you should do them in odd numbers. So I got 4 there. I think I'm just going to put 5, and I probably shouldn't go around in circle like that, but at least they're not all together. You know, they're not evenly spaced. That makes for a boring painting. But it's a plate, not a painting. So anyway, like I said, these are Amaco velvet underglazes, and I'm painting on Bisqueware. That's been fired to 04. These are mid-range fired plates. So I will fire this plate again. I will let this dry, and then I will apply a zinc-free clear. 2 coats of a zinc-free clear. I use Amaco and I use Mako. Doesn't really matter. I don't like to make my own anymore because I had trouble with it clouding over. So, and then I'll, so I won't refire it before I put the clear on. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So right now I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to put these at. Trying to get the composition kind of where I want them. I think that's good enough. Oh, I need some smaller brushes to go over these again. I don't like these big fat brushes. You can't, for me, I can't get the preciseness, I guess, of what I want. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do the biggest ones first. And so these will go over the green splatters and should cover them up. Yeah, but so I had my shed delivered last Thursday, and I was so excited. I thought, oh, I'll go out there and I'll paint. Everything's painted, but not the inside. So I had to paint the inside, and I just wanted to paint it white, to make it all nice and bright, and pretty. Make it feel more spacious. It's only a 10 by 12. It's not a real big shed. But it's a lot of work. So then, my son said he would spray it for me. The walls aren't too bad. It's getting up in the ceiling. The ceiling's pretty high, and I'm not real good with going up and down a ladder. I can do it, but the ladder we have is not real sturdy. So, I've had a couple friends and a sister-in-law fall off a ladder and break their leg in like 3 places. So, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I got the orange on there. This brush is complete junk. I think I cut the tip off of it off. You can see where it's kind of flat. I don't know why I did that, but that is junk. I'm going to throw that right in the garbage. Goodbye, paintbrush. Let me find another one here. Here we go. This one's good. I'm going to add a little bit of water because it's a little thick. The paints, they dry really fast if you if they're too dry, if they don't have enough water in them, they dry really fast. There we go. Much better. Okay. So anyway, I have been busy painting the shelves that go in there, and I bought some new vinyl flooring. It looks like hardwood for the inside. hoping to get it ready for the sale on May 3rd at my house. And then I'm going to try to list the horse trailer and sell that. But I really want to get the pottery out of there before I list it. And it's kind of tucked back in some trees, so I'd like to get it out of the trees and everything before I list it so I can show it easier. Okay, so I think I used, what glue did I do? Trying to remember which color I used for these blue flowers. So I'm going to go over them now. Go back over those a little bit. And kind of shape the flowers or the petals a little bit better. There we go. I try to put, you know, like three coats on it. It doesn't, they don't really burn out too much at cone 6 if you've got 3 coats on there. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of white to the center of those. I try to paint kind of fast because I don't want the glazes to be so dried out, but they're drying almost immediately as soon as I put them on here. But anyway, that's why you haven't seen me on here, because I have been playing in I call it the she shed. I've been playing in there and getting the flooring and all that stuff, and so, but I had to take a break today because like I said, I'm kind of hoping my son will paint the inside and just spray it for me. That'd be a lot easier than rolling it and hand brushing it, and gosh, my hands just can't really take that too much anymore. So now I'm going to add some medium blue here to these. Add a little bit of water to my brush. Stir that up a little bit. I'm not really into many art shows this year. My knee has been bothering me, and so I'm probably going to end up having knee surgery this year. So I hated to commit to shows and then not be able to do them. So so I'm just going to have this sale at my house, and then I'll have one in the fall too before Christmas. Oh man, too much of this blue on here. And you don't really know how it's going to come out too much. This is another brush. It's junk. I should just throw all these away. Oh. Sometimes the junky brushes though can give you some neat textures, some neat like strokes, you know, of the brushes, and but I don't know. And I've been doing some acrylic painting too. Some of the little 6x6 canvases, those are kind of fun. I'm going to put some I don't know. I keep changing my mind about this blue flower. I think I like the white around the center. At least I don't have to go to work tonight. I teach pottery down at the Dunham Recreation Center. It's a great job. I mean, I love doing it. You meet so many nice people, and it's a lot different than, you know, doing pottery at home by yourself or painting at home by yourself. It's, you know, you've got all that camaraderie there, and so it really is fun. And it's fun to see what everybody else is doing, and you know, you kind of learn from each other. So it's really nice to work in a community setting when you're painting or anything, knitting, or pottery, painting, knitting, you know, whatever you choose to do. Some of it's harder to do though in a setting. I haven't done any stained glass in so long. I'm kind of missing that too, but it's like you can't do everything. Okay, so I've got those down. So I'm going to put some yellow. Now this is the same yellow. This is like an intense yellow, but then I put it over here and I just added some white. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more white to it. I don't have a whole lot left in this jar, but because I'm pretty sure this is the yellow I added to the back of that plate, and it turned really bright yellow, which looks okay. It's just not what I wanted. So we'll stir that up good. This is probably what ruins my brushes, is stirring it like this. Ooh, it looks really white now, doesn't it? Oh gosh. I think I just don't, I need to just stir it up more. These don't like to mix like acrylics or watercolors. I think because maybe they're thicker. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and put a center in there. All right. Let's rinse my brush out. Don't really like how I've shaped that flower, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to add a little bit of this red to the orange flower. You do have to stir them. When you first get them out, you got to re-stir them. They kind of gel up a little bit, like. But I'm a very visual person. I like to see all the colors together. And then I'll try to blend that in a little bit better. This brush is such, junk. I donated a bunch of my brushes to Dunham where I work. I need to donate the rest of these. I shouldn't say the rest of these. I do have a lot of new brushes, but for some reason I always grab the old ones. I don't know why, because I guess when I buy brushes, I don't buy them this size that I like the most. Now, when you're painting with underglazes, and you're painting with them like you're painting with acrylics or something, you know, remember they're not going to really turn out like that because you're not putting 3 coats of that red on there. When you're doing accents and trying to shade, You're not putting 3 coats of everything on there. I'm going to try to switch brushes up here. So where it's, you know, where you don't have your 3 coats, a lot of times it burns out. Just kind of depends on what color it is. The reds don't burn out too much. Greens can tend to burn brown. And yeah, the avocado green turns brown, yeah. Boy, I tell you, it's gotten so hot so quick here. It was like 40 degrees one day, and now it's probably 80. And we haven't turned the air conditioner on yet because we're trying to get over the bills from the winter. Okay, so I'm going to take this orange here. I'm going to put little dots around the blue flower, around the yellow center. I'll hold this up in just a second so you guys can see better. It's always hard for me to tell how well you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this intense yellow. The problem with, you know, using why this ruins the paintbrushes is because this underglaze has clay in it, which has, you know, fine particles, and the particles get down in the in between the brushes, you know, in between the little bristles. See, like, I really don't know how much of this yellow will show up or anything. Like I said, it's kind of intense yellow, so I really don't want a whole lot of it. I just trying to add some more dimension, you know, interest to the flowers. So I've been painting a lot with acrylics lately. There's a really, you know, a lot of interest in those. Okay, so let's see here. Now I've got a little bit darker purple here. I think what I'm going to do is try to go to that. I've got. Let's see. This is a smaller brush, and then the tips fall off too. Okay, I'll stir this up. I'm supposed to go walking today with my sister-in-law. She yesterday I was supposed to go walking with her too, but I told her I was too sore. Oh my gosh, I was running yesterday and on my feet a lot, and by the time she came over to go walking, I couldn't move. I had been working out in the she shed, planting more flowers, and I love the springtime. I love planting the flowers and planting my tomato seeds and my zucchini seeds, and I got some little I got these honey sugar little cherry tomatoes, which are so good. I think it's, yeah, honey sugar. I think it's like honey sugar. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I gotta plant those. Little baby watermelons, and this year from the Burpee Seed Company, they even have little baby zucchinis. Like, I have a lot of room where I live, you know, but it's mostly woods and hillside, so we really don't have a lot of usable space, which is kind of a bummer because I don't have as much gardening space. I do for flowers. So like last year I was trying to incorporate my garden into the flower beds, but it worked okay. It worked okay, but not the best. I was going to outline this with underglaze, black underglaze, because you guys know I like to outline. But with all this stuff on here, with all these flowers, and I'm not even done yet, I think I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I think it's going to be too much black. So I reversed my brush stroke, as you can see, on these purple flowers, because I don't like the rough edges on the end. I decided that I'm going to go in from the ends, so it's a little bit more of a defined petal. I don't know, I just didn't like the other way. I'm going to go back with the lighter violet. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see. I think I'm going to do white centers, so. You don't want them to have all the same color centers. So now when I'll post this video probably tonight. Today is Tuesday. But I won't have these fired till, let's see, Wednesday. Probably not till Friday. So on Friday, I will upload the finished product, the finished plate. I will upload that on the front of the video. So I think it'll alert you when I add something to it. I'm not positive. You guys know that better than me, but and the more I look at it, the more I feel like I've got to outline it. Can't decide. I just think I'm not going to be able to. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to add to the center of those. Those are like kind of like tiger lilies. Let's see, I'm trying to think what color would be. Oh, that brushes. I really do need to just throw some of these out. Let's try this one here, a little bit more narrower. Stir up the black just a tad here. Like I said, probably stirring these paints with them is probably a bad thing. We've got tiger lilies like this out in the yard. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the bright yellow on the center. It's going to kill me not to be able to outline these. I'll take a look at it when I'm done and see what I think. But I plan on adding a lot of greenery too. So it would be a lot of black, you know, a lot of black outline, which can sometimes make it look really harsh, and I don't know if I really want to do that. Sometimes I like to look a little bit of a little bit softer look. Kind of outlining this, adding a little bit of this orange to the, because I'm kind of afraid it could be too bright. And I'm going to go back here and add a little bit of the soft yellow. Yeah, I'm not liking that. I'm just going to go back to the intense yellow. And I'm not going to show a whole lot of that orange I added in there. Since the flower's orange, I think it would be better to not have so much orange, I guess you could say. So let's see. I'm trying to find a more narrow brush and kind of go back. I don't want to. I don't want to cover up all this yellow, but sometimes when you paint with these, you know, you have to remember that they don't blend. I mean, if you see rough strokes, they could show up exactly like that, and so it's kind of hard sometimes to really blend unless you really work on one at a time, which a lot of people do, and they blend and make it look, you know, really pretty. I mean, I think that's fine. Shh, jeez, Charlie, did you see my whole table move? It's okay, Charlie. Oh goodness, here we go. Shh, Charlie. I'm gonna open up the screen door for him. Hang on. Goodness sakes, you big galoot. Okay, there you go. I don't think there's even anybody out there. Gosh. Oh, goodness sakes. He barks at everything. He's got his purple bear out there. Ay. I might add some black liner. I'm not sure yet. Oh, you guys know how I am. It just kills me not to do the black liner. So let me show you what I got so far. Oh, there's my husband. Now he's really going to bark. Chris?
What?
Tell Daddy that I'm making a video. I have to warn him that I'm making a video, otherwise the dog's probably going to go crazy anyway. Come on, Charlie. Daddy's home. Go see Daddy. Okay, so I'm going to add some I think I'm going to add some yellow in here though, so that when I paint it on, it doesn't go on as one color. There we go. So I got the lime in here. I'm going to add some yellow in here. There we go. So I got some bright yellow. I got some soft yellow. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more of the bright yellow. He found his purple bear on the floor in the hallway. My husband's asking where he found his purple bear, because we'd taken it away from him because he was chewing it all up. There we go. Let's see. Add some leaves in here. I think this brush is a little big. I'm going to get rid of that brush and get a little bit more narrow brush. Yeah, this one should be better. Okay. There we go. So the green really, I think it's going to look nice. It's hard to add these petals, and it's hard to cover up a lot of what you're painting, but I guess that's the only way you can really make it look realistic. Because I do want a lot of green to be added in here. I saw a painting similar to this, kind of what inspired me. I liked all the foliage. I may have to try this in acrylics too. I think I would do the whole background. I don't know, it's tough to do the green before you do the petals, before you do the flowers. So usually whatever I have left in paint, I've got an open slot, but usually I just mix it in with one of the other ones. Get my even a narrower brush so I can put some really small petals in here. Let's see if I could probably raise this, tilt it up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. And I still may splatter it a little bit. Like I said, I do want a lot of green. I decided not to paint the background this time because I was afraid it'd end up too bright.
Good.
Get that little gnat in there. I hope this turns out. The colors should look pretty now, don't they? I really like the colors. Now with this green, I am gonna go back over each one and make sure that I have at least 2 good coats, which will kind of equal 3. Plus, I don't want it to be translucent where I'm going to see the colors underneath. There we go. So, and also, wherever you, when you're painting, like a lot of these paints that have been sitting a while have oolites. And those are these little, Charlie, shh. Those are these little tiny balls you see in here. They do not fire out, so make sure you go back when this is dry with your finger and get rid of all the lumps because those lumps will come through your clear glaze. They will stick out. At least that's my experience. I can't really say about anybody else's experience, but that is mine. Oh, shush. You don't need to go out. You just came in. Silly dog. He had a purple bear. I think I was telling you before, but he was chewing the head off. So we hid it from him for a while. Oh, sometimes he just talks. I don't know what he's saying, but he just likes to hear himself talk. Okay. I don't like how these leaves are coming out of this purple flower. I'm going to go over that a little bit so the leaves, to make sure the leaves look like they're under the flower, not like they're not. I don't want them to look like they're coming out over the top of the petals. So now that when I get done here, I'm just going to take a paintbrush and maybe go over the orange a little bit to bring the leaves, or bring the petals forward and let the leaves kind of sink into the background a little bit. Okay. All right, let's set this down. Now I'm going to go back to the orange, and I'm just going to go over the edge of the leaves. So you can see so you can see the petal shape, not the, this will push the leaves to the background. Then you got to kind of decide what you want to push to the background. So get one of his oolites out of there. Yeah, I mean, oolites can form in regular glaze or underglaze. Just little tiny, perfect little balls. And they will not dissolve, so they will leave humps, little lumps in your paint, so you don't want to do that. Okay, let's see. And I am going to speckle this again, splatter it, like you do with with acrylics. We'll see how that turns out. I've seen it done before. It looks really nice, so there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, for following my channel and hanging out with me. I'm hoping to do some live videos out on the patio maybe this summer when it warms up a little bit. I'm not really very good with live videos. Okay, I think that's good with the orange. Now I'm going to do the purple. And I'm going to add a little bit of white to this violet I've got here. Usually you don't add enough to really make a huge difference, you know, to ruin the color of the glaze you've got in there. But I'm going to have to remember it came in. You got to remember which way your brush strokes were. And then just kind of go along the sides of the petals that you added so that you push those to the background. I may have to do just a few black lines. I know some of you are saying, do the black lines, Lisa, do the black lines. I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh, but I don't know, if you do one, then you got to do them all. I think it'd be weird not to do them all, but I really don't want to. I have to refrain. Okay, let's see here. I did that one. I got to do this one here. You kind of end up going over and over these things anyway to, you know, move things from the front to the back of the painting. This one's turning out really nice. I hope it fires pretty close to the way this looks. I do want to add something else to the center of these white flowers. I'm not happy with just the white. Trying to decide. Maybe if I do a touch of blue dots around the outside, that'll tie this blue in with the purple flowers, and they won't look like they don't belong there. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll do the light blue. Oh, shoot. It ran into the white. I don't want that. We'll put a little more white there in the center. And then I'll go back over there with the blue. The blue's getting pretty watery. That's why it wants to run like that. I'm putting some over here on a paper towel, and that'll suck out some of the water from the blue. There we go. So I think I'm going to go around the edge too. Kind of outline, since I'm not going to take a black liner to them. Try to outline them a little bit with color instead of the black. do the center one. I'm almost done. I have a roast in the crock pot. We're having roast for supper with mashed potatoes and gravy and roasted carrots. That's our din-din. So we went out to eat on Easter Sunday, and that's what the restaurant had, and it was so good. So I thought, well, I can do that. It's not too hard. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this blue and add a few accents to these purple flowers. That way, like I said, if some of it may burn out, you know, you don't know, but so when you're done with this, when I'm done with it, I can spray it with water and give you a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. But it is kind of risky. I got some purple here, and I think I'd take a little bit of purple and see. I was going to add just some lines to these petals. I'm not really loving it though, but it is adding another pretty color to it that is defining it a little bit, since I'm not going to add the black. I decided I'm going to refrain. Yeah, I really like that. In fact, I like it so much, I'm going to take the purple and I'm going to add a little bit of purple. Very little around the yellow. I don't know if I like that or not. Not sure I'm liking that. I think I'm going to go back with the yellow and go over it. Some of it'll stay a little bit, but I'm not feeling the yellow or the purple that much. So we'll just cover it up a little bit. That's all. There we go. Okay. I think I'm pretty much done. I think I've done enough damage. I'm going to put a little water on these yellow, where I added this yellow though, to kind of smooth it out. I'm adding a little bit of a little bit of water to this yellow too. I'm going to thin it down a little bit, and then I'm going to make like a little pocket, a little bowl here. There we go. So I can add just a touch more yellow here. That's good. Okay. I am going to spatter it, I guess, whatever you want to call it, with some of this green. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with this orange. I'll probably just dump this. I think I'll just add some water to it and I'll dump it right back into this front corner one. It's kind of a little bit darker orange that I hardly ever use, so if I lighten it up a little bit, I'll probably use it more. I use that for I'm making pumpkins, and I'm paint my big pumpkins. But I won't do that for a while, so. Okay, so I added some water to this green so that I can speckle this. You don't want it too watery, then it runs, but it's kind of, sometimes it's tricky to get it the right consistency. And also the more water it is, I think the bigger the splatters. And I don't really want that either. I don't want giant splatters, you know. It's kind of good to do a test thing. There we go. We'll get a little bit off of here. And this is working. I'm going to try to go around the edges here. And when I'm done, I will hold it up for you guys to see. I think this is going to be really pretty. We'll see how that looks. So I'll dump these paints back into there. Because I really don't like this forest green or Kelly green that I have anyway. So I'll dump that into there. And let's see, I'll show you this and then I will let you guys go. What do you think? Probably looks much better in person. I don't know, the camera just, I mean, this is a brand new phone, but the colors just never show up very well, and I don't know, someone told me I can enhance it, but I don't think I can enhance a whole video. And then I don't like enhancing it, I don't know, if it doesn't look like that normally, but it does to me, it just doesn't, there you go. So there it is. So I will, like I said, I will post probably this Friday after I get home from work. I will add the fired photo of this onto the front of the video. So today is Tuesday. I will go to work tomorrow on Wednesday and load the kiln, and then Friday. So let's see, today is the 20th or something of April. So, anywhoosie, that's it. And let me raise you back up. There we go. So thanks for watching, and it's always a pleasure chatting with you guys while I'm painting. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys for watching. And as soon as I get my shed painted on the inside, I'm going to do a video of taking you guys in there, and I'll probably do like a video maybe once it's done painting, and then once I get my shelving in there, and then once I get everything set up in there, I'll definitely do another video. And then I'll do a video on May 3rd, of course, the day of the art show, to show you guys what it looks like. I've been planting some more flowers outside today. It's got little window boxes and stuff. So I'll have to take a video. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post a picture too. So, but thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.